I'm live, apparently. So if you comment, let me see if it shows up on my... Yeah. So you do a comment. Have you done a comment?
Yeah.
You've done it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
I got it. It worked. Can you do it on YouTube? And LinkedIn? Sorry. Might as well. No one's watching. It's fine. Maybe one. No, one person. That's you. I'll get onto it in a moment. In case anyone is watching this later, I'm just testing my comment function on here for one more minute, because previously I was able to show people's comments like this on the screen, and for some reason the last time I did it, it didn't work. So we're just testing it very briefly, and then I'm going to get on to the topic. Can you hear me okay as well? How's the sound? When you go, after you've done the comment, can you go outside and just tell me how the sound is? I think it's pretty good. I'm using a new mic today, so we want to just... It's very good. Is it too loud? Like, you don't have to turn it up really loud to hear me. Should I turn it down? Are you sure? I feel like that's really loud. Okay. Thank you, babes. Okay. So I'll leave everything as it is. We've tested everything now. Comments are working, so please comment if you watch this. If you watch it live and comment, I get to put your face and your comment on the screen like this, which makes me very happy. If you don't, you can still comment. I will come back and watch the comments and read the comments and reply. So I'm live currently on Facebook, no, not Instagram. Facebook. Maybe I should be on Instagram. Should I be on Instagram? I didn't think about it. Well, I'm not on Instagram. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, doing a very impromptu live. This is part of one of my missions at the minute. One of my focuses in my life is that I am not overthinking every little action that I take. I'm just doing it. So I didn't overly prepare this live stream. I haven't made sure that I've got my Instagram and a nice little banner with a title, and I'm not doing that today. I'm so tired of doing that. I'm so bored of doing it. I cause myself so much stress in my life because I don't just get up and do things. I'm too busy trying to do them perfectly. I'm too busy trying to work out the right time to do them. And what are people going to think? Should I go live at 5:15? What if no one's watching? I don't know anymore. I'm just doing it. And if you watch it, you watch it. And if you don't, you don't. So I'm getting into a habit of taking more action in the moment. A lot of stuff came up today. It was interesting. A lot of actions, ideas, creativity came up. Thank you, baby. So a lot of actions came up. And I was like, oh, put it on a Post-it note, put it on your planner, do it next week. I was like, no, I can do it now. Just get it done. So that's my vibe right now, and hopefully forever, because I'm realizing how much quicker can we move in life when we just take the action. Not think about the action that you want to take and then don't do it, and then think about when should you do it and how should it look and what color should I use on the live stream and when should I do the live stream and who will be watching and how should I formulate every word that I'm going to say to you. I've done none of that. I have a few notes because there's something that came up for me earlier that I wanted to share, and the rest is just open to whatever happens. And I'm just seeing how much more I get done when I operate like this instead of overthinking every single little thing that I want to do. It's quite liberating. And it builds a lot of momentum. You just start moving in the direction of what you want rather than sitting there thinking about it. So no thinking today, just speaking from my heart as best I can, of something that I want to share with you. It's something that always interests me, that I'm still learning about this, because I've been in the world of self-development for like 18 years. I've been exploring myself for like 18 years, and I'm still learning things, and I'm still like, oh my God, wow, I didn't know that. So this is a, oh my God, wow, I didn't realize that moment that I want to share with you. And it's all about knowing what you value in life and living in accordance with your values. And the reason that's important for me personally is I believe we are meant to live from the inside out, not the outside in. We have within us a heart, a soul, a unique expression of life that is here to be expressed into the world. We are not here to have everybody else tell us what we should do, what we should want, how we should live, how we should dress, how we should think, blah, 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 and then try and copy that and be that. We're not carbon copies, okay? So for me, it's very important to know who I am and express that into the world and to help other people to do the same. And I thought I knew pretty good, like what I really value. But I still fall into traps. And I realized a trap I fell into because earlier I remembered a quote that I learned at a training I went to quite many years ago now by someone called Dr. John Demartini. Some of you may have heard of him. I really love his work. And so I went to like a 3-day training event with him in London, which was amazing. It's all about science and spirituality, bridging the two, lots of awesome tools, really, really amazing guy. And he said, here it is. I always forget the quote when I want to say the quote and I build it up like, here comes the quote. And I can't remember the freaking quote. I didn't write it down. It's basically, you don't judge yourself, or you only judge yourself against things that you don't truly value. This isn't his exact words, but try and get the essence of it. You only judge yourself against things that you don't truly value. The things that are really in your heart and soul important to you, you will not negatively judge yourself against them. You will not. And if you don't believe me, then you must do the tool and the tip that I'm going to share with you today and see if it works for you. See if it's true for you. Don't just take my word for it. Do the work and see. And then if it works, you can carry that with you in your life. But I did this morning because it just came to me while I'm having breakfast. It's like, okay, why am I distressed and whatever? And I thought, let me try this out. So I did a couple of circles. I'm going to share this with you. And the first thing is I wrote on a page, what do I judge myself for then? Because if I don't truly value the things that I judge myself for, then I don't want to be having them in my life and focusing on them because it's just a waste of energy. And my premise is I live from the inside out. I live authentically true to who I am. So if I'm judging myself against all these things that are not true to me, then I don't want them. So I want to be aware of what those are. So I did a little bit of an intuitive circle and I drew a little circle in my mind. Those of you who know this work know, or who've worked with me on it, get what I'm saying. But you don't have to know the work. You're just going to ask yourself a question and an intention you're going to set to uncover what you truly value. And if you do this with me, put in the comments how it goes and what comes up for you. And essentially, the first thing you're going to ask yourself is, what do I truly value? No, you're not going to ask yourself that because I can't read my own notes on the page. See, this is what happens when you don't prepare. It's all right, though. I'm not bothered by it. It's fine. It's the first thing you're going to ask yourself, darling souls, is things I judge myself for. Because according to Dr. John Demartini, you don't judge yourself on things that you truly in your heart value. So things that you do judge yourself for, it would be interesting to know what those were, what those are. And I'm going to share with you what I've got on my list. Get ready, peeps. Get ready. You may resonate with these. Give me a little thumbs up when I say something that you resonate with. Yes, let me know that you also resonate with this one. So the things I judge myself for. Here is my heart and soul being laid bare on the internet, never to be deleted for all to see when I'm old and grey, if I make it that far. I judge myself for my failures and my mistakes. All of them. I judge myself for not being pretty and beautiful enough. I judge myself for not being confident enough. I'm judging myself right now, that's not on the list, for the fact that the camera keeps going in and out, in and out. My tech support, tech director will sort that out later, but I don't know why it's doing it. Sorry if it bothers you. See, I'm judging myself because it's not perfect, right? That's on the list. I judge myself for not being, for being too modest, to being too shy about what I do and who I am, and not sharing enough out there going, yeah, I'm great and I do this and blah, 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 and not being loud enough. I judge myself negatively for that. I judge myself for not making and having enough money. No matter how much I have, it will never be enough anyway. I judge myself for not being famous and popular enough. I judge myself for not being all over social media with 1 million views and everyone knows me. I judge myself for not posting enough content often enough and shouting about myself and saying my words enough. I judge myself for being lazy and for not working hard enough. I judge myself for not being perfect enough. I judge myself for not valuing myself enough and not demanding more, particularly when it comes to monetary value and not asking enough for the work that I do. I judge myself for not taking care of my body enough, for not being fit enough, for not being active enough. I judge myself for not being disciplined enough, not motivated enough, not hustling and working hard enough. I judge myself for being too emotional, having too much emotion, and being too sensitive and too affected by those emotions. I judge myself for not having loads of fancy shit. I judge myself for not having my money game together and not being adult enough about money and how I manage it and make it. That's enough for now. That's the end of where I got to. I'm feeling that. I'll be honest. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling quite exposed right now because I just shared all of that. But it's true. So let's go back to the quote. You judge yourself for things that you don't truly value in your heart. So if that's true, I don't actually, in my heart and soul, who I truly am, I don't value being perfect. I don't value looks. I don't value people being shy, like really loud and boisterous about themselves and being really confident all the time and blah, blah, blah. I don't value working so hard so that you break yourself and never be lazy. I don't value being famous. That's a hard one for me to grapple with. Because look at me, I'm on the screens. And those of you who know me know that I want to be on the screens. I like being on the screens. But I don't, in my heart, if it's true that what I judge myself negatively for is not truly in my heart's value, then I don't truly value all of that. It's not going to fill me here. Being pretty is not going to fill me here. Being famous is not going to fill me here. Hustling and working hard and having loads of money and all is not going to fill me here. It doesn't mean it won't fill you. Some people make careers out of beauty and physicality and blah. So maybe that's your thing. But what I'm saying is do the work and find out what is your thing. So the quote is that if I'm judging myself for these things, they are not my true values. Now let's put the other side of the coin in place to see, or should I say the higher truth, it's not really on the coin. What do I actually value then? And this did quite surprise me when I asked myself that question. So if you're doing the exercise, first ask, what do I judge myself for? Be honest, get it out, put it on the page, even if it pains you. Go deep, don't ignore truths. Really put it down and expose the shadows, right? That's how we make things come into awareness and transcend, by exposing the lies and the ego. We call it the ego, the identity, the small self that takes us into our lives and drives us down things that make us really distressed. Because what I will say to you, if I think about all the times I'm really stressed, it's because I'm worrying about all this stuff. I'm not famous enough. I'm not pretty enough. I should be louder. I should be more. I should blah, blah, blah. Because I'm judging myself every second of the day on these things that somewhere I have picked up and learned to believe are important to me. They are not, because you'll see in a moment. I won't keep you hanging for too long, I will tell you. But you'll see in a moment what is truly important to me. And it was quite enlightening. I'm just going to share a comment. Pavla, beautiful soul. Hello, darling. She said, that's really interesting. Sometimes I envy people who can shout about what they do, which helps them get the results. And I can resonate with lots of other things you mentioned. I'm glad you resonate. Pavla, I'm exactly the same. I look at people, and what is envy? It's you judging yourself in comparison to someone else. And again, it's a judgment. So if you're judging it, it's not what your heart truly is interested in. It's the mind, it's the wounded self, it's the ego, it's the little personality that we've all formed in various ways. But I do exactly the same. I look at people who are so out there. Look at me, I'm great, have my product, have my service, I've got 1 million followers, I am this, I'm so confident, look at me, blah. And I feel envious. I'm like, I want to be like that. But do I really want to be like that? I'll tell you the answer to that question when I tell you what I truly value. You can probably guess what the answer is. But that's it. Really, really glad you brought that up, Pavla, because it's, what do you envy? What makes you jealous? What do you compare yourself against others with? I don't know if that was English or if that made sense, but what are you comparing yourself against others? What is it? Those are things. This is the ego. This is separation. This is, I'm never good enough. We all have this stuff going on. And that is a clue to say, do I really want that? Your identity may want it. Your insecure self may want it. Your insignificant self, your wounded self may want it. But we don't want to live from there, because that's a never-ending game, because you will never be enough if you're chasing those things. When you want to know what your heart truly wants, you will have much deeper fulfillment. There's a random hair on me. It's annoying me. It's gone. So I forgot what I was saying. So let's move on. But so the next thing. Okay. So if you ask yourself that question, here's the next one, Pavla. I hope you will also spend some time looking at this. What I never judge myself for. So this is the next question. You'll sit down and say, okay, what do I never judge myself for about myself? I never question it or judge it or go, oh, it wasn't enough, or oh, I should have. And it never brings up that, oh, because there are things. Let me tell you what came up for me when I asked myself this question. I never judge myself for standing in my truth and speaking my truth. I never judge myself badly for that. I never judge myself for being courageous in my truth. I have stood in my truth and been courageous in my truth and done things in my truth all the way through my life. I've never turned around and go, oh, you shouldn't, or you didn't do it right, or I just do it. I never judge myself for that. I never judge myself negatively or in any way for allowing others to be their true selves and encouraging them to be their true self and championing and cheering others. I never judge people. I never judge myself for when I do that, my ability to do that and the way that I do it. I don't even question it. I just do it. I never judge myself for my own personal growth and transformation, my own journey of how I'm developing, how I'm becoming self-aware, who I'm becoming, what I'm learning, how I'm growing, how I'm changing. I never judge myself. I may become aware and go, oh, I did that thing and maybe I could have done better. But it's not like a negative. In the same way, I'm like, oh, I haven't got enough followers. I'm not rich enough, famous enough. I never say I'm not evolved enough. Those words never come out of my mouth. In fact, when I said them just then, that was the first time I've ever said that. I'm not evolved enough. I never say that about myself. So interesting. What you don't judge is what your heart truly values. So I never judge that. I never judge my creative expression. Again, sometimes it can sneak in. It's a bit difficult, this one. But generally, when I'm in my flow and I'm doing my thing and I'm speaking, writing, teaching, whatever, I don't often go back, oh, it wasn't enough. There might be a little, but generally I'm like, oh, that was cool. That was fun. And I move on to the next thing and I create the next thing. Whether it's training, blogs, cartoons, talks, whatever, I enjoy the process. I'm learning, I'm growing, I can reflect and say I can do this better, but it's not full of that energy of like, oh, I'm not enough. If you get this quite subtle difference there. I never judge myself for the moments of inspiration that come flowing into my brain when I'm in the shower or falling asleep and they just floods in and the words are coming and the ideas are coming. I don't judge myself about that, but oh, you don't get enough of those, you're not doing it well enough. It's like, oh, it's cool. I don't judge myself for my level of kindness and care that I give to others. I don't judge my joyfulness and desire to help others feel loved, welcome, and safe. I don't judge my ability to take the shit that is thrown at me and has been thrown at me and still staying strong, calm-ish, kind, and not reactive and not taking all that stuff that I've been given and putting it on others negatively and unleashing my pain on others, which a lot of people do. I don't judge myself for how I deal with it. I don't even think about it. I just do it. And that's the thing with this. There's no judgment. It's just being. I'm just being in my truth. I'm just being who I am. I'm just being kind to each other. I'm just being a person who encourages others to live in their truth. I'm just being the one that takes shit but somehow handles it better. I'm not sitting there judging my ability to do any of that as good, bad, not enough, or whatever. Another couple of quick ones here. I don't judge my level of self-awareness. Of course, it could always be more. I'm always learning, always growing. But I don't sit there and go, I'm not self-aware enough. In the same way as I'm not pretty enough or loud enough or rich enough. I don't judge my love for things like art and poetry and mysticism and Rumi and magic and sparkles and colorfulness and books and reading, and I got colors and childish colorful pens around my room, and I love it. It's just me. So here's the thing. What you judge yourself for, you don't actually value. And what you don't judge yourself for is what your heart actually values. So those are the things that you want to do more of, be more of, experience more of, and focus on and put as high value in your life. So what I want to put as high value in my life is that I keep being my authentic self, that I keep growing, learning, that I keep speaking, teaching, that I keep kind and championing others, that I keep allowing and encouraging others to be their true selves, that I keep creating. That's what I actually value. Not, am I getting enough followers? Do I need to be louder? Should I change the color on my logo and my brand? Should I be demanding more? Should I be more working harder and blah, 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 blah? So here's what it is, lovely souls. Anything we judge in ourselves, to take this teaching to the next level, if it resonates with you, is usually, I would say, an extrinsic value. I'm still toying with this, by the way. It just came to me this morning, this new level of experience of this quote that I heard many, many years ago. So I'm still exploring it. So don't take what I say today as gospel, fact, truth, whatever. Always take what I say through your own wisdom first and foremost. If this doesn't resonate, leave it. But I'm still exploring this myself. And where I'm at with it is that when we judge ourselves, it's against things that we've been told extrinsically outside of us that we should want, that we should be. I should be richer. I should be more famous. I should be more beautiful. I should be more popular. I should be more confident. I should be this. I should be that. Blah, 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 blah. So like I said at the very beginning of this stream, we're meant to live from the inside out, not the outside in. And if I'm living from the outside in, that's when I start judging myself. And that's when I get stressed and feel not enough and feel like crap all day and can't work and can't function and don't like myself and blah, 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 blah. Because these are extrinsic values, which we adopted from the outside world when we were young, from parents, from school, from society, from social media, whatever. We're doing it all the time still, taking extrinsic values and making them our own, then judging ourselves for how we don't feel aligned with them and we're not meeting them, and then we feel like rubbish. So what's the answer? Is the realization that the only thing you should be going for is what makes you feel one with your own heart. There's a reason you don't judge yourself in things that are in your heart, because you are already one with them. In order to judge, there must be two things, you and the thing you're judging. But if you and your heart are one thing, there's nothing that can judge the other thing. You just are it. You are in oneness. You are in wholeness. That's why you can't judge, because there is no other. There is no thing to judge. You're just one. And so the concept of trying to judge it and see it from two dimensions doesn't even work, which is why I said I don't even notice all those things that I don't judge about myself, because I'm just being them. I'm just doing them because they are one with me. They are me in my truth. There's no separate self, no ego judging them, because I am coming from that place of wholeness. And in order to judge, we have to separate. We have to become two. Here's me and here's the thing I think I should be. Now I can judge that shit, right? But if you're just being it, then you're in wholeness and you don't judge. So that's really what I experienced today, and am simmering in at the moment, because I just think about how much of my life, how much of my time do I spend, how much of my energy do I spend really feeling like I'm not enough, because I'm constantly judging myself against all these standards that are not actually important to me. And the reason it's important to understand your own values and your own standards is because it will cause you a lot less distress, and it will boost your resilience, your happiness, your well-being, your peace, your flourishing, your progress, your flow, when you operate from wholeness and oneness and are living in and accordance to and focused on what you truly value in life, instead of all the stuff around you that you've been told that you should be focused on and valuing. So our levels of resilience increase, our well-being, our enjoyment, our health, everything goes up when we are whole. And wholeness is being in your heart, and being in your heart is knowing what you truly value in your heart and acting and living in alignment with that. There's no judgment there. There's no I'm not enough. There's no I'm not there yet. There's no comparison to other people. I don't judge other people either on the things. I'm saying that and I'm questioning myself at the same time. So I'm going to stop that sentence. I'm not sure if that was true what I was about to say. So I'll leave it there. Well, like I said, what I'm talking about, I'm still assimilating myself. It came to me this morning. There's a richness and a depth to this lesson that will continue to simmer for me. And so I'm just sharing it immediately as where I'm at with it. But very, very interesting. So I hope that you will be encouraged to try this for yourself. Ask yourself these questions. What do I judge myself for? And what do I never judge myself for? And recognize that everything you judge yourself for is not a true value in your heart. It's not who you truly are. It's not what your heart truly wants. And everything that you never judge yourself for is who you truly are. So be more of that. Focus on that. Stop trying to get the stuff that you don't really care about in your heart. Stop trying to get the stuff and be the stuff that someone out there and their insecurity and their ego and their not enoughness decided that you should also want. That's the journey that we are on. If you're on your own growth and development journey, you have the potential to experience life in a very different way to 99.9% of people out there. But it takes work, like sitting down and doing this and recognizing, well, who am I really? What do I really love? And then acting on it, and then catching yourself when you sit there, when I sit there, for example, and go, oh, I didn't get enough views on this live stream. No one's watching me, blah, blah, blah. And I start feeling insecure and all the emotions and the pain. It's okay. We're not making it wrong. I'm not fighting it or getting rid of it. It's allowed. I'm human too. We all have this. But then I reorient myself. Well, hang on, what do I truly love? Let me go back to my list. It was here. What do I love? I love teaching. I love creating. I love expressing. Did I do that? Yes, I did. So amen to me. Now move on with your life. So the more you practice this, the more power you put in your heart and what you truly value, the more you, I don't even want to use the word measure, but the more you do measure your life experience against what you truly want and what's truly important, and all these other silly little things that everyone out there is telling you to chase will become less important. And they won't drag you down those roads of comparing yourself negatively to others, judging yourself because you're never enough, all that stuff, which causes so much distress and pain and suffering. And I know, because I do it every single damn day. And it's exhausting. I've gotten worse as I get older, actually. I don't know why. Well, I do. The ego and the identity concretizes, has had longer to operate, it has had longer to work on me. And so it gets harder actually as I get older. When I was younger, I was much less concerned about what other people did, and I never compared myself so much to anybody else. And I really knew who I was and just lived it. And as I get older, I think also the advent of social media has really not helped me. Before social media, I was much more just aware of what I was doing, what I enjoyed creating and living, and so on. And now there's a lot more awareness of what is everyone else doing, and I'm not good enough compared to blah, blah, blah. So that hasn't helped. But I think, yeah, it's part of the human journey. And I'm still working on it. I will be until the day I leave this planet, because it never ends, my darlings. So, hey, that's all from me. That's what I wanted to share. I hope that if you watch this at any point, it helps you. And if you do the actual tools, I would love to know what happens. I would love to know what awareness you get. And I will set an intention for myself to remind myself every day of what I truly value in life, and focus on those things and be those things and live those things. And everything else on the other page can insert your own word there. Out of here. There we go. Thanks for watching, my sweet souls. Hope you enjoyed that. I hope you like my new setup in the back as well. It's nice, hey? I moved my bookcase. I say I didn't do it. If someone else did it, he knows who he is. And he set up these beautiful lights. It's very nice. I like it very much. I hope you enjoy it too. And I hope you have a wonderful Monday evening if you're in the UK or wherever you are, whatever time it is when you're watching. Take good care of yourself. I'm doing another live stream, I will quickly say, on Wednesday at 7 p.m. UK time. With Arush, and we're going to be talking about, are you doomed to repeat your past? Because most of us are, unless we know how to elevate our consciousness and operate as a creator rather than just a regurgitator of past beliefs and so on. So if you're interested in that, you want to join us, because it's going to again be a masterclass style, right? We're going to teach you tools and also just explore it ourselves. And I'm sure very much share many stories, because I have a million stories about how I keep repeating the same problems and challenges in my past, but also how I have broken through that in actually some really, really big areas of my life, areas where I was carrying the same patterns for 40 years, the most difficult patterns of my life. The amount of shame and fear and distress that I had in those patterns that were ingrained, not just into me, but generationally passed on and in ancestry. I can feel it, the energy of it, all in me. I broke that shit. I broke it because when you know who you are, you will break the matrix and rebuild a new one that is in line with your heart and what you want to experience, not just repeating the patterns of the past. So it's possible. Arush is an expert in this. He's an absolute gem at teaching. I've been doing it for quite a few years and I'm loving it as well. And I teach other people too. So we will be sharing with you tools, techniques, and our own experiences on how you can break the patterns, stop repeating the same old stuff, and start to create fresh and new, a fresh new life for yourself. It's possible for anybody at any time, at any age. If it calls to you, if what I'm saying calls to you, then this may be the information that you want to hear. So join us on the live stream. That'll be Wednesday, 7 p.m. UK time, same place on my profiles on Insta. I keep saying Instagram because I used to do it there too, and I haven't for a while. Sorry, I shouldn't neglect my Instagram followers. And be on Facebook and LinkedIn and YouTube. Now I'm gonna head out and say thank you so much for watching. And I'm gonna go and ask my technical director why my camera is constantly going to. Are you seeing that, or is it just me? I can't stop noticing it, but we'll work that out. Thanks for watching. Take good care. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.